You know, it's really funny when you get to thinking about it. I was sitting around the other day and just busted out laughing. My wife said, "What are you laughing about?" And what I was laughing about back years ago when I was fishing the BFL, back when Walmart sponsored it, and it's been several years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I have a coangler that I won't never forget. It was really funny what happened. Back then, you met at the Walmarts on a Friday. Of course, you could practice a few days before that and everything, but you met at the Walmart in the town that you were going to be fishing in. And this particular time, of course, I had practiced a couple of days through the week and all, and we met at the Walmart on that Friday. The tournament director gets up, and he talks about all the rules and who to call, and just the same spiel from your tournament directors up on the stage there at the Walmart, because that's where we did the weigh-ins, was in the Walmart parking lots. Anyway, this particular one, he did his rules and everything, and back then they'd send you a text message of who your co-angler was going to be. And at that time, you kind of looked around in the crowd to see if you could find him. You'd send him another text, say, "Hey, I'm over here by the white truck," whatever you might be by. And then y'all two get together and talk about the tournament the next day, So, got the text message. It had his name and everything on it. And I texted him. Didn't get a text back. And I kept looking around, maybe I sent it again. Thinking, well, maybe he's just not paying attention or whatever, Give everybody a little grace. And in a minute, the text message come through, says, I believe his name was Tony. Best I remember. Like I said, it's been several years ago, Tony. Anyway, Tony says, "I'm not there at the Walmart. I got hung up at work, but I'll be at the ramp in the morning." And I text back, "Yeah, okay, no problem. Hey, be at the ramp at 4:30. We'll get together, get you loaded, and everything like that." And he sent back a message. He says, "How will we be fishing?" Of course, back then, that was information you shared with your co-angler, no big problem. I told him what I'd been doing for the week and all that. He says, "See you in the morning." So, go to the motel and sit around the motel. I had some other friends that was fishing the BFL at that time. We all got together, went eat supper, the same thing. Anyway, got to the ramp the next morning, 4:30, had all my stuff in the boat. No Tony. I'm like, "Where's Tony at?" Well, everybody's, putting their boats in, and everybody's lined up, getting their boats in. Announcer's over here, the tournament director, he's on the speaker telling everybody stuff. Everybody's putting their boats in. Well, come down to the last, still hadn't seen anything of Tony. I texted him again. I said, "Hey, dude, where you at?" He said, "Oh, I'm running late." He said, "Sorry, but I'll be there by the time we take off." So I got one of my buddies there to help me launch the boat. He parked the truck and everything. So I'm sitting out in the boat waiting on Tony. Here comes announcers. The tournament director starts calling off numbers. "Where's Tony?" So luckily I was on back in the pack and, wasn't up front. If he had, I'd been really mad. But anyway, got down. I was getting nervous, where is this guy? And at the last minute, he texted me. He said, "I'm 5 minutes away." Okay, so I putter back over towards the dock so he can get his stuff loaded. He got out of his truck, come running down with 5 or 6 rods and all and everything. You know how it is. Get him loaded up, and we take off. We fish for the day. And we did pretty good. I mean, he was a good guy, no problems. He just kind of haphazard, Me on tournament day, I am super prepared. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. And this just kind of threw me for, it kind of got me off. I just kind of started spinning out on the whole deal. But anyway, caught fish, and it come time to load the boat back up to go to the Walmart. Well, I asked him, I said, Tony, you got any problem backing the boat? No problem at all. I can do it, no problem. He says, Mr. Smith, you don't mind, just leave my stuff in the boat and I'll get it out in a minute. I said, ain't no problem, just go ahead and get the truck and the trailer. And the line was lining up. There was probably, I'd say 40 or 50 trucks, with trailers, and people backing in, loading the boat, backing in, loading the boat, backing in, loading the boat. Everybody was doing good. Watched him. I had pulled the boat out a little ways and talking to a couple of buddies I knew there, it was fishing and all. And come up, and Tony, he pulls up. He backed up about 5 feet and stopped. And I'm watching him. I'm like, what's he doing? He pulls up and goes out again and gets in the back of the line. I'm like, whoa, what is this? What's going on? Well, followed the line around. He stops again, pulls up, backs up about 5 feet, stops again, pulls out, goes to the back of the line again. Buddy of mine says, hey, dude, your co-angler can't back. I'm like, oh, no. Of all the days now to put up with this, now I find out he can't back a truck up. After he told me, no problem, I can do it. So he went around one more time. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's nervous, whatever, giving him some grace. And he backed out about 5 more feet than he had before and stopped. Pulls back out again. I said, that's it. I got to go. I pulled up and got the boat tied off. Went up to him. I said, Tony, what in the world is wrong? He said, I can't back up. I said, why? He said, well, I thought you was talking about driving forward. I can't back up. He said, I've never been able to back up. He said, I can't even back up with my own stuff. And I thought to myself, Lord, have mercy. Here he has caused this day to go by the way it has, and trying to be graceful. At that point, grace was over with. Needless to say, I never saw Tony again in any of the tournaments. I guess he figured that tournament right there taught him a whole lot, just like it taught me about my co-anglers. So I'm sure a lot of y'all has got some co-angler stories too. I started out as a co-angler. I ain't got nothing against a co-angler, but if they could be truthful with you and do, what they say and do everything like that, that'd be a lot more better. But hey, I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button down there you see. I'd appreciate that. And come on back. We'll tell some more stories. Y'all have a good one.